All right, I got a lot of catching up to do here. A lot. I'm down by 5.
I mean, one a week, you'll be there.
One a week.
You catch up for a week.
My record is 13-13. I'm 500, and you're 19-8.
So you just chip away at it, I guess, because it's my turn to like go downhill now.
Well, we'll see about that. I mean, I don't know. If I'm going to give it this week, and if I can't catch up at least one game on you this week, I'm just going to pick opposite. Everything you pick, I'm going to start picking the opposite.
There you go. It'll make it more real interesting.
I'll either fall like 20 games behind, or I'll catch up.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the schedule. It's weird. There's like 5 1:00 games and 6 4:00 games this week.
Yep. CBS doesn't want to have any 1:00 games. They got the Masters tournament going on. So,
and I didn't realize that. And looking at this, all the 1:00 games are on Fox.
Yep.
Even there's one AFC versus AFC. It's the Houstons versus the Clevelands. And that's 1:00, and it's on Fox. That's an AFC matchup.
Wait, why are they putting that one on Fox?
I don't know.
Usually it's like if one team is from the AFC.
Right. There's usually a mix, but
that I don't get.
Let's see. I'm just looking real quick. Is there an NFC matchup that's on CBS? No.
They must have just lent it out then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe each network has to carry a certain amount of games no matter what. Or
right.
I don't know.
Well, they don't want anything to do with football at 1:00.
Now I'm looking. CBS only has 3 games this week total. It's
okay.
Yeah, they got the Chargers, Miami, the Denver, Oakland, and or Vegas, and the Buffalo, Arizona. That's it.
And they're all late. Must be.
Yeah, they're all 4. That's weird. Very strange. That's because they think the golf's a better draw.
I guess, or at least they have some commitments to this tournament. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna watch football. Take your golf and shove it, CBS.
I'm not tuning into that.
Jesus God, I don't care. Even in April, March and April and stuff. I'll watch preseason baseball before I watch golf.
Well, at least I won't have to go flip back and forth between 2 games at 1:00.
I kind of like that though, because when one goes to commercial, you can
I know it is. Yeah.
Or I like going to the Buffalo Wild Wings or the Sliders or something where you can watch them all. That's always fun. But in the time of the goof, I've actually done that twice this year.
Okay.
Because I was at work, out of state. I wanted to watch football, so I just go to the Buffalo Wild Wings and pop a squat and watch the games.
You just shift from one screen to the other.
Well, there's so many monitors, and it's
I know.
Wherever you look, you're going to see plenty of the games. So, football Sunday's one of the greatest things ever invented.
Yeah, I don't know what's better for sports because there's so
much.
There's so few games that each one is critical. So
right. There's the stakes in the NFL are amazing. So yeah, and my favorite the weekend of the wild card weekend, and the next week the divisional games. You get 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
They're so awesome. It's like the whole weekend. Just
the whole weekend.
And it's the better team. So you're pretty much. I mean, you're not guaranteed they're great games, but that's the highest probabilities you can get to.
Right. Yeah, that's fun. And then you get to the championship game, and it's like, no.
And then it's like, oh no,
one of each, and then they're down to the Super Bowl.
And the end is near. Oh,
exactly. You always sit there second week of February going, now what do I do until April?
I know.
You got March Madness, but in March Madness is fun the first week when it's all those teams. And then once it starts, same thing. Once it whittles down, it's kind of like, oh, it's not as fun. I like, you fill out your bracket and then you sit there and go, because let's face it, we all do a bracket, but we don't know crap about any of these teams.
I know.
And then we just sit there and go, oh no, they're dropping like flies,
Yeah, It's already ruined.
You get the bracket buster like right away. You lose a team, blows the whole thing up.
It's like, oh.
You lose one of the whole regions is just gone. So I hope we get that this year. I missed that last year. It's always fun.
Yeah, I wonder if this year you're gonna go back to.
I don't know. It's not looking so good. Might be like May Madness or July Madness. They'll push the whole thing. Depends on how much longer we're gonna have the goof. I'm thinking 3 months.
Yeah, they seem to be revving it back up.
Yeah, I think January or February. The vaccine will get out there and things will start to return to safe.
Yeah, I hope it's that early.
Yeah, I do. I said at the beginning it'll be a calendar year.
Yeah, that'll be March.
Yep. All right, let's get into this. Let's start with the 1:00 games, all on Fox. The first one, if I can find my shite. There's so many graphics loaded in here. It's this long.
I mean, that must be a lot.
Okay. So we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants battle for a share of first place.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. This is a tough game to pick.
Yep, it's a division game, so it's going to be all those are going to be tough. And they're so those NFC East teams are so close to each other.
They really are. The Eagles are so schizophrenic. Like, we know what the Giants are. We have no idea what the Eagles are.
Yeah. They could show up and blow somebody away, or they could get blown away.
Or they could show up and yeah, exactly.
Well, I was so for the longest time I was so tempted to go with the Giants, and I'm still tempted to go with them. But then it's like I start thinking a little bit more logically, which doesn't always work in the NFL. But Eagles are off a bye, and they are getting a ton of players back this week.
Yeah,
like I think it's like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Offensive line back. Sanders, their running back.
Yeah.
Some defensive help. So then after that,
they got Goddard and a few guys back.
Goddard. Yep.
Is Zach Ertz coming back? Or is he
no, I don't think. Yeah, he's still out. So I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the Eagles, but I wouldn't. It's not with a lot of confidence because that Giant defense has been getting better and may force Wentz into all his mistakes. He's speaking of turnover machine. I think he's.
Oh yeah.
He's got the most turnovers this year.
Carson Wentz. I mean, what was the last game they played? He looked awful. He was throwing it all over the place. They won the game too.
It was against the Cowboys, but he did everything to lose that game.
He did. He looked awful. He's a chucker. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel the exact same way. And I feel like that this could be one of those upsets where the Giants pick them up because it's in New York. Not that it matters with no fans, but I still think the Eagles getting healthy, that's probably going to be too much for New York. So I'm also Philadelphia on that one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised that, like you said, if it was an upset.
Yeah. All right. Now the game, hold on to your hat, Edson, because I know this is the game that you've been waiting to watch all week. Jacksonville at Green Bay.
Oh, this is a tough one. We just got through saying that, Jacksonville's offense can't do anything. Their defense can't do anything. It's like, what are they going to what's there to say? And of course, you got Aaron Rodgers, and he can get that offense going. And they're this year they're more like up when they get up ahead real quick. That's when they really roll over a team. And I don't see that. I don't see how the Jaguars are going to get ahead of the of the Packers. They can't really score. They can't run the ball. They're not much passing either. And their defense can't stop anybody.
Yeah, Green Bay, big time.
Yep,
big time. That one's a no-brainer. I want to see Jacksonville play the Jets. That'll be the battle for the first draft pick.
Are they on the schedule?
I'm gonna have to look. I'm not sure. I'll look after we're done here. Okay, next up we got. Whoa! Oh, come on. There's my mouse. I keep clicking the button on my mouse and nothing happens. I think it's time for a new mouse. Football team versus the Detroit Loins.
This could actually turn out to be a good game based on what Alex Smith did last week.
This is a tough game to call.
It is a very tough game. I went back and forth a lot, but in the end, I'm the only reasoning I had was the Lions are very up and down. Last week they were down, so I think they're due for a good performance. So that's why I'm picking them. That's the only reason. I mean, they're kind of pretty even.
I went with Washington last week on the road to New York. I thought, Antonio Gibson, and I just thought Washington's better coached. I thought they're a little bit ahead of the Giants developmental wise, and Washington screwed me. So for that, I'm also going with Detroit at home.
Don't you like it when you have like these vendettas against the team because they do something to you, like you take it personally, and then you hate them for the rest of it. Like usually with me, it's like they derail my favorite team, and for some odd reason, I just get this like I can't stop hating them that whole season.
Since the week I picked by myself and was 10-4, it's been awful for me for the most part. Well, 8-5 is not horrible, but
that's good.
It was the 1 week I did terrible, and this Washington team keeps screwing me. So I know for a fact already that they're going to hose me again. They're going to win this game. You watch. Houston and Cleveland.
Yeah, that's another pretty tough one too.
Yeah.
With well, I mean, Houston's defense isn't what it was as we talked about. No. So I don't think they're gonna. I was thinking their one hope is to force Mayfield into a lot of mistakes, but he's getting Chubb back, I believe.
Yep.
This week, and that will take a lot of pressure off of him. And when the game's not on his shoulders, then those mistakes kind of ease back, and that's why I'm going to go with Cleveland.
Yeah, here we go again. I'm also
there will be some unusual picks later.
the Browns at home. Yeah, I think, and again, last week, I mean, they could do the same thing. They hosed me last week, and I had the same logic. It's they're at home. Mayfield doesn't have OBJ anymore. He's going to be able to kind of run the game, manage the game his way, and not have to worry about forcing throws to this guy. And we'll see. But I think Nick Chubb is going to make a huge difference. I mean, not that Kareem Hunt's any kind of slouch.
No.
But Chubb is one of those. He's elite. He's elite. So also Browns at home for me. The next one up,
and they're better with both running backs, I think. So that may make a difference.
That too, right?
All right. Oh, okay.
Bay at Carolina. McCaffrey's out, right?
This one was another one where I was going to go with Carolina until I found out McCaffrey's out, and that's it. I mean, I really was. I know that it kind of contradicts, Tampa Bay's still a good team. They didn't just become bad just because they had a bad game, I don't think. But I was ready to go with Carolina because they're so well coached.
Yeah.
And if they had McCaffrey in there, I think they would have a real good shot at this game. But Tampa Bay is going to want to bounce back from that dismal. They want to put that in the rearview mirror as fast as they can. So I think they'll have a good showing. And of course, Carolina doesn't have McCaffrey now. So right. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this is one of those weeks where Tom Brady's going to take frustration out on the opponent. And I don't care who it is. I think Tampa Bay is going to have a great week. You really don't see Brady take a beating like that and make those many mistakes, those mental errors that he made. Yeah, I think I feel bad for Carolina. It's that they just picked the wrong week to be on the schedule, because otherwise I think it would be it might still be a decent game. I think Tampa Bay is going to end up winning by at least 10. So I'm also with TB in TB on that one. So that's it for the 1 o'clock games, all on Fox. And now we move to 4 o'clock, 3 from CBS and 3 from Fox in the afternoon. So we'll start it off with a game that you have personal interest in.
This is my game of the week, even though, and it's not just because I'm a Dolphin fan. It's just because you got Herbert against Tua, and I just think it's the most intriguing game of the week. So even though it's not really like first place teams or anything like that, so I would really went back and forth, and I had a tough time with this one. I think they're actually pretty even, despite the disparity of records, because as you know, the Chargers tend to have that thing where they lose games at the last minute after leading the whole time. And I think they might pull one off this time. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Okay. The one advantage the Chargers have is it's a 4:00 game, so they won't be playing at 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. That's true.
They've had success when they travel on the road to the East Coast the last few years. But I'm going Dolphins at home. I think Tua is just flying high, and I think he's going to be excited to make his home debut, his home start. Yeah, I'm going to go Miami.
I mean, I'm hoping. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Dolphins, and I'm hoping they'll win. I just have a feeling that the Chargers will break through, their curse, I guess, that they put on themselves. And with whichever way it goes, I'm very intrigued to find out whether Herbert continues his success with and how many big plays he has against the Dolphin defense, who said is pretty good.
20, 30 yard. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, it's going to be a high scoring game. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. Denver at the Vegas Raiders.
Okay, so Denver is another. We say this a lot. Is another up and down team,
right?
And they're young, prone to making a lot of mistakes. They had a very high last week, so I'm thinking it's time for them to have a low this week, and it was a pretty high because winning that game at the last minute. So
right.
The Raiders they've traditionally been up and down, but they've been consistent. Specifically, the last 3 or 4 games, they've been consistently good, really showing their potential and talent. So, and they're playing at home, so I'm going to go with the Raiders.
This one's tough.
It is tough. Another division.
Still going back and forth right now in my head because the Raiders have won 2 in a row. You know what that means? They're due to lose.
Right.
And and it's not a far road trip at all.
Oh, that's true.
It's not like they had to travel very far. But boy, this is a coin flipper. This is one of those ones that I just feel like Denver could surprise. Divisional game, it's going to be a close one either way. They're going to play their asses off. But I'm also going Vegas, even though can they win 3 straight?
Then we'll see just how a serious contender they are in this game.
Yep. Another tough one.
Oh yeah, this one was really
Bills
tough
at Arizona.
Jeez. I don't really have that much logic into this pick at all. I'm going with the Cardinals because I'm just saying I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row at home, I guess. That's about it. I mean, the Bills seem to have turned it around again and seem to be kind of back to their early season success, where their offense is clicking really well. And I think this is going to be a high scoring game on both sides. Cardinals can score and the Bills can score, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals in a close game.
I feel the same way. Is the logic that I don't think Arizona can lose 2 in a row at home, and they didn't just lose last week. They got,
Well, it wasn't a
shootout. It was a shootout,
right.
But they couldn't. They had no answer for Miami. Buffalo's offense is better, I think, at least right now.
It is.
I expect the exact same kind of game, but I think the Cardinals pull out in the end. It might be a kick at the end or maybe overtime. But I expect like a 38-35-ish kind of game here.
And I think the Cardinals defense is better than the Bills defense, so that gives them an edge on that.
Yeah. And if they want to stay in the playoff hunt and they want to, even challenge for the division, they can't. They can't go 5-4. They can't. It's time for them to show us if they're really contenders or not. The next 3 games are on Fox. It starts with another toughie.
Oh, I know. This could have been such a good, really showdown of a game.
Yep.
Because these two teams always play each other very well. But, San Francisco is just decimated. Their starting quarterback is out. Their best receiver, who's their tight end, is out. They have a lot of people on defense out still. They're probably the most decimated team now that the Eagles are getting healthier.
Yeah.
And I can't see how they can keep up with the Saints, especially you see how they did, last week. They're kind of hitting their high now. I don't see how San Francisco can stop them.
Yeah. San Francisco is very well coached. There's no doubt about it. I don't think they're going to come in and lay an egg. At least I wouldn't expect them to. But the Saints at home, unstoppable on that turf. I'll go Saints all day long with that one. Next up, another toughie, another divisional game.
This is a tough one. Yeah. I went back and forth on this one for a long time.
Yeah.
I guess in the end, I personally don't trust Goff that much, I guess. I think he's kind of like he can be really good, but I think he's this type of player that needs to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So anything that kind of just knocks him off his game early on just kind of derails the whole. Yeah, that's true.
Mayfield. Yeah.
Yeah. And he benefits from having a coach like McVay who kind of keeps him settled, with his offensive schemes, and of course Seattle's defense isn't that great, so I don't know if they're even going to cause that problem. But I am going to go with Seattle because I don't see them losing here after getting really pushed around last week at Buffalo, and I think Russell Wilson's going to have his A game. So I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, the Rams are tough at home. They're very good at home.
They are, yeah.
But they have the running back by committee. They don't really have a solid bell cow. So I'm not sure, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to possess the ball for long amounts of time and keep Russell Wilson off the field. And I don't see Russ losing 2 games in a row for the same reason I don't see Tom Brady doing it. Wilson's having an MVP type season, so I can't see him going down there and laying an egg. It's the same time zone. Seahawks for me too. So we only have 2 games that are different. 1 game so far.
Is it one? I think it is 1. Might be 2, but I think it's 1.
Next up.
Oh, okay.
And this game's on Fox. That's weird. Another AFC only.
Yeah.
This game scares me.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Very much. The Steelers are kind of just have been so dominant over the Bengals. What is the last 10 in a row or something? It's like they have the psychological edge along with the football edge. Of course, Cincinnati's a relatively new team this year with Burrow there, and he's been improving week to week. I think that Cincinnati won't get blown away despite the records, and Burrow is doing very well. The one thing I noticed is that he does still, well, I can't say still because this is his first year. He takes a lot of sacks. He has to learn how to not take those sacks, and that's just a progression of football, quarterback progression. And seeing how the Steelers front, their defensive line is so good at getting to the quarterback, I think that doesn't bode well for him. I think it'll be close, but I have to pick the Steelers.
Well, Joe Burrow doesn't have the history in his brain about what's going on with this rivalry. He also, that said, he doesn't have Joe Mixon, so their running game is going to be dead meat. The Steelers are relatively good against the run. They've had trouble the last couple of weeks because Alu is out in the middle there. He's not the nose tackle's out. That said, it's Tyler Boyd's from Pittsburgh, and it's his birthday.
Oh,
so he's going to want to put on a show.
Oh boy,
for the home crowd. I have a feeling the first half is going to be a lot like the Dallas game, where the Steelers just look like they're sleepwalking through this thing. Roethlisberger was on the COVID list all week, so he couldn't do anything. He came
That's
off
true.
today. So I have a feeling they're going to sleepwalk through the first half. Tomlin's going to put his boot up their ass, and they're going to come out and win the game. So Pittsburgh, but in a nail biter again. Now we go to the 8:00 game, which used to be a good one.
Yeah, that's another one that would have been a classic game in years past. I mean, I'm going to go with the Ravens, but it's not. This is more like where I'm trying to see if the Ravens are going to kind of get themselves back on the path for playoff contention, serious playoff contention. And that's seems like an unusual thing to say for a team that's 6-2, but their offense is like sputters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they need their defense. They've been needing their defense to kind of get them back in the game, which is not what you saw last year.
Right.
I'm going to go with them because I can see Belichick, as good a coach he is, come up with some kind of scheme to take advantage of how the Ravens offense has been stumbling around, but they don't have the talent to really carry it off where they can beat them. I don't think. Might be a close game though, depending on whether the Ravens get out of this funk. Regardless, even if I believe the Ravens are going to win, but I want to see like how are they going to win? Are they going to squeak by? In which case, I think they're in big trouble. Or are they going to just finally just show up and just blow them away?
This has all the earmarks of an upset. I agree with you. I think the difference is going to be Baltimore's defense is going to turn Newton over a couple times, and that's going to be the difference. I without Edelman, he doesn't have much offense. He's got the 3 running backs. That's all they have. Like they have 3 running backs. That's they have no wide receivers. They're tight end. Everything's just average to not good. You're right. Belichick's going to scheme the hell out of this game. He's going to keep it close, but I think that the Ravens defense will force a couple of mistakes. That's how they'll win. As much as I hate to, I almost took New England because I just have that feeling. I have that feeling. Primetime game, Belichick at home. You just never know.
I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
I wouldn't be shocked either. The Ravens could go in there a little cocky and get punched in the teeth. Who knows?
Yeah, but you made a great point though. Their defense can really turn over that kind of.
In how New England was last week, or the week before, Cam fumbled at the end of the game going in for the. He's made a lot of those kind of mistakes this year. Then they had the game against the Chargers. Was it the Chargers?
I don't think
I forgot. It was early. No, it was the Chiefs maybe, where he got stuck on the 1-yard line at the end of the game.
Right. Yep.
So that was. It's just they're missing that one. Well, they're missing a couple of key skill players on offense, and
how about getting some receivers?
and Cam just seems mistake prone. Maybe he's trying to do too much because he knows there's nobody there. Who knows? But that's gonna be a fun one to watch. I'm really interested in watching that game.
Yep.
And then Monday night, we got the Vikings at the Bears.
So, Vikings going trajectory up, Bears going down. At least their offense, and we've talked on and on ad nauseum about how bad the Bears offense is, and do you see them getting better? I don't know how they're going to all of a sudden turn the switch on and get better, especially against the Minnesota, who has a good defense. And now that the Minnesota offense has Cook, as long as he's there, he takes the pressure off Cousins, and he runs all over the place. I know the Bears have a good defense, but when they always do this year, their offense has a lot of 3 and outs, which puts them out there in the field a lot, and they're going to get tired with Cook hammering at them. So by like late third quarter or middle of third quarter, he's going to be like running all over them.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely Minnesota.
Yeah. I think this is where Minnesota makes their move. This is where they show the rest of the division that they're still in it to win it. And I think they lay the lumber on the Bears in their own place. I think Minnesota wins by 2 scores.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what you said. It's two ships passing in the night. Yeah. So Vikings big. 2 score, 10 points ish, 10, 12, something like that. So
yep.
All right. Well, once again, we only have like 1 or 2 games that are different. What I want to do though, because we did say we wanted to do this, let's see if the Jags are going to be playing the Jets. So let's see. Let's click Jacksonville here.
I know the Jets have a pretty tough schedule, but I'm trying to think if they have a couple of winnable games.
I think it would be awesome. It would just be.
I'd like to watch